Breaking right now, the real reason King Charles has cut contact with Prince Harry. Angela Levin, Prince Harry's biographer, has her own verdict on Piers Morgan's claim about why Harry and Meghan have become pariahs within the British royal family, with everyone now deciding to cut contact with the duplicitous Montecito duo. Before we get the real story from Angela, here's what Piers Morgan told my friend Meghan Kelly. Angela Levin, Prince Harry's biographer, with me now. And Angela, you have a bit of a disagreement with Piers Morgan about why King Charles has cut contact with Prince Harry. You say he's done it for good reason because Harry is now dangerous. Can you explain what you mean?
Yeah, Harry is very dangerous for him, really. He has to avoid speaking to him, not because he doesn't care for him anymore. I don't believe that. He loves Harry, but he doesn't love how he's behaving. He has to be careful because Harry has leaked and planted private family conversation. He's known for also doctoring it to make some money. So if you don't want him to do that, you have to stop talking to him. The other reason is there's loads really. It's dangerous for the king to answer any questions because Harry is still having deals with the High Court, and in April, 24/7 protection is going to be his thing that he's going to go for. Now, if he talks to Harry, he can then make an effort to say that the king is involved with this story and say something that he isn't involved with, but he will because it will help him.
Angela Levin starts by confirming that King Charles has cut contact with Harry and Meghan. This isn't just about cooling relations. This is about protecting the institution of the monarchy from internal threats. Think about it. Harry's actions have forced his father to take a stand for the good of the crown. As conservatives, we understand that leadership sometimes requires tough decisions. Family or not, when someone consistently undermines the group's integrity, you have to draw a line. King Charles has done just that, and I say it's about time. Leaking private conversations isn't just bad manners. It's a betrayal. Angela Levin talks about Harry's pattern of leaking sensitive information, which has made him a liability. This is more than just gossip. It's a strategic attempt to manipulate public opinion while monetizing family strife. In any organization, trust is the foundation. When you compromise that trust, you jeopardize the entire structure.
He could twist the words and actually give the impression that the king is dealing with the Home Office. He does think he should actually tell the Home Office what to do, but he can't do that because it's a
Constitutional, yeah, it's a constitutional issue. Exactly, and he cannot do it. He cannot do it.
He's also got cancer, and he has to be.
Harry doesn't seem to ever care about.
No,
really.
He doesn't care about it. He turns up when he wants to.
Yeah, for his own PR, not for his father.
And he has to make sure that he doesn't get into an argument. Now, Harry still feels that his father hasn't actually apologized about treating Meghan badly. Well, I don't think anybody did. Meghan treated everybody else badly. So he doesn't want to have that shouting at him. He wants his father to give him a proper conversation and get an apology for him and discuss the accountability, which is his favorite word. But he's not going to get his father to sit down and he's going to tick off these things. So he keeps on attacking his father. He flies over without much notice and thinks that the king should drop everything because he's there for 20 minutes. He also wants to control who's in the room with his father, and he doesn't want Camilla there. And Camilla is there, and she doesn't say anything. She doesn't try and make Charles or Harry say something they don't want to. But she's there just to make sure that she would be there to make sure that the king was not upset. Now, Harry doesn't care about that. So he's whole behaviour is very naive, and to think that he could behave as badly as he has done, and still be treated very kindly by his father or William is ridiculous. He also, if I can just quickly add, he uses his children to help him get
Yeah,
what
well,
he wants.
I was going to ask you about this, Angela, because obviously there was this briefing to Hello Magazine this week, and this all came from Harry. It was very obvious. It was like a propaganda piece for Harry. I thought it was a load of nonsense myself, and also hugely insensitive, by the way, that this article came out on the day that Charles was in Auschwitz, commemorating the 80th anniversary of the liberation of that Nazi concentration camp. And Harry decides to drop an article like this that day. I mean, I know we're used to him doing gross PR stunts, but to me, this was just such a low blow. But in that magazine, Angela, a friend of Harry's told Hello, the goal for Prince Harry is simple. He wants to ensure the safety of himself and his family while in the UK so his children can know his home country and so he can help support his patronages and their important work. But you don't believe that.
Harry's actions aren't just harmful to his family, they're detrimental to the institution of the monarchy itself. And let's be clear, when you're leaking information for personal gain, that's not just disloyal, it's treacherous. Piers Morgan labels them as pariahs, and he's not wrong. Harry and Meghan have alienated themselves not just from the royal family, but from the very nation they claim to serve. This self-imposed isolation is the result of their own actions. Nobody forced them into this corner. Pariahs aren't born, they're made through choices. And Harry and Meghan's choices have been consistently destructive. If you burn bridges at this rate, don't be surprised when you find yourself stranded on an island of irrelevance. Angela Levin's claim that Harry has been doctoring conversations to make money is disturbing, to say the least. This isn't just deceitful. It's a gross exploitation of family ties for financial gain.
I don't believe that at all, because he went out because he wanted to, and Meghan went with him because she was relieved because the UK was too small for her to do big things. She wants global. And so in the plane that he was flying out to Canada, he said, actually, I'm on the freedom flight. I'm leaving to save my life and my family's life. Okay, he felt like that 5 years ago. Does he think that the UK and London is better now than then? I mean, it's absolutely not. It's an appalling state. So that's ridiculous. Now then, would he do what he was told? Will he follow the protocols of the royal family? No. Would he do the work that the king asked him to do? No. He's now been very much on his own, and he won't do as he's told. He'll do what he wants to do. Where's he going to live? In the same hotel he's been living in the last year or so? I doubt it. Now, if Meghan wants to come, he'll want a huge mansion, but I hope she doesn't. I think she won't. And so there he will be with his children. Are they going to go to school in this country? Who's going to look after them? I mean, are they there? It's a ridiculous thing. He's using them to try and make people think that isn't the king mean? Why can't he be nice? I thought he would like children, but he obviously doesn't. You know, that would be absolutely nonsensical to say or even think. But Harry's putting it across because people will say, oh, poor little children, you know, they want to see their grandpa. Well, they haven't, because they haven't been allowed to. And they won't fit in with what the king wants to do. So it is, I think, using your children in that sort of way is appalling.
It really is. It really, really is. Now, Angela, this week has been another difficult one. Let's just be honest about it, for Meghan Markle, who has now become a laughing stock even amongst her employers at Netflix. You've been doing a deep dive looking into where it all went wrong by Meghan Markle. You say her whole reputation is hanging by a thread. There is a whole load of diminishing admirers, which I thought was a very good way to put it. But where in your investigation into this have you worked out where I guess the rot really kicked in.
We've seen this pattern before with the Sussexes, whether it's their Netflix documentary, their Spotify podcast, or Harry's memoir Spare. Each of these projects weaponizes their royal connections for profit. But here's the kicker. Once you've sold out your own family, what's left? There's no going back from that. Allegations of Meghan Markle bullying staff are not new, but they're gaining traction. According to Vanity Fair, her behavior was so severe it sent staff into therapy. And let's not forget, the same publication that once glorified her is now exposing these troubling claims.
Well, I think it is because, one, it's always about me, me, me. And this thing is very much shows her up in the worst way. She says, come into my home. It's not hers. She's borrowed it, costing Netflix a fortune. She said, I'm going to collect lettuce from my garden. It's not her garden. So she knows that actually she's lying and it's phony. Anyway, then do you think that anybody would be interested if someone with long hair bends over and just gently touches one of the dishes that she's got? Or she says to one of her friends, would you like to put your fingers into this uncooked bread dough? Ugh, you go, no, I don't want to go anywhere near that. But sort of odd things that you ask people. And then I think that she's got to hurry up, because if she doesn't, if it's going to be changed, she's only got a few weeks. But still, it was going to be the aperitif for the America Riviera orchard. But I think interest has gone. It's all stale, isn't it? You can't want to know that you can wait at nearly a year, one more month, it's a year, for a jar of jam. I mean, it's over, it's finished. You have an excitement and you can have it all lovely, but actually if you're still waiting for it for about a year, then forget it, mate. It's just not of any interest. All the things that she wants to do, no one's interested. She's spoilt the way she behaves, and she's not going to get people who are interested in case people put their fingers in something. Yuck. So Netflix made a lot of profit, only from Harry and Meghan being nasty about the royal family. I think people were captivated at first. I think when they really thought about it, they thought it was absolutely disgusting, and that you don't wash family dirty linen for everyone to see. And I think Americans love family, and they don't really want people to tell them all this rather ghastly information that's not even true about their family. So she's lost it there as well. She caught a prince and lived in luxury, and now she feels he's not quite right. She wants to do it herself. She wants to do her own PR and get on with things. But see, she won't listen. She won't accept advice from anybody who knows what she's doing far better than her. She wants to stay doing it her way. I mean, what she should do is accept that people are really against her at this moment, that is going to try and get them round, is to start again, deep breathe, find something that actually is really you, if she can dig deep enough into herself, and start all over again. But this, at the moment, it's not going to happen, and I fear that she won't get what she wants, really. I mean, I'm not even upset about that, but she doesn't have any understanding of getting people to like her. I mean, Catherine does it instantly, doesn't she? You see her running to a little girl and absolutely adore her with a banana. But Meghan, it's always about her, because she knows better and she's not going to change, and she's going to keep on doing what she wants to do. And she's the most ungrateful person you could ever meet.
As conservatives, we believe in treating everyone with respect regardless of their status. When someone uses their power to belittle others, it reflects a profound character flaw. This isn't about royal protocol, it's about basic decency. Non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs, have reportedly been used to silence staff who suffered under Meghan's management. Now, NDAs are common in business, but using them to cover up abusive behavior is a different story. When leaders resort to silencing dissent rather than addressing it, they reveal their inability to handle accountability. Leadership is about owning up to mistakes, not burying them under legal paperwork. It's the antithesis of what conservatives value: transparency and accountability. Angela Levin calls them renegade royals, but even that gives them too much credit. Renegades challenge the status quo for a greater good. Harry and Meghan challenge it for personal gain. Their defiance isn't rooted in principle, it's rooted in profit.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. Just really interesting when I was looking at that. Oh, and there's the great moment with Catherine, which was obviously just totally gorgeous. But Angela, really interested. I was just looking at that picture of Meghan and Harry quite near the end of her time in the royal family. Could we just look at this actually? Because if you go a little bit closer on their faces, what I find really interesting here, look, Harry, he still looked quite young and I would say relatively happy because he was still in England, even though the marriage was falling apart. Now, if you compare Harry there and you contrast to him now, Angela, he looks drawn, he looks tired, he looks deeply unhappy and miserable. It honestly is like the joy has been sucked from him since moving to California.
Well, California's been a failure for him. He can't
Yeah.
settle down there. He doesn't feel an American. And although he says, oh, it's lovely here, it really isn't. And also he's been treated like Meghan's helper. You know, if she needs him, when she was furious about people criticizing her, he sort of went back and said, oh, but you're wonderful. You're brilliant. You know, don't worry. You're so good at it. Because if he doesn't say that, she'll probably explode at him. I mean, he's lost his strength and personality because he's just somebody to walk behind her and do what he's told. He's fed up. But on the other hand, he's absolutely ruined his relationship with his family. So, you know, he's stuck between two walls. But I think he's got round now to feel dreadful about the way Camilla treats him. Anybody would. And I think he finds he can smile if she needs him to look after her for those miserable moments. But it's not real, is it? She just grabs him because at least there's someone who would look after her for 5 minutes.
They've sacrificed family, integrity, and tradition for fleeting media attention. That's not rebellion, that's self-sabotage. As American conservatives, there's a valuable lesson here about loyalty and integrity. Just as the monarchy relies on mutual trust, so do our institutions. When individuals put their personal agendas above the collective good, everyone suffers. This isn't just a royal family issue, it's a societal issue. Whether in politics, business, or family, trust is hard to earn and easy to lose. Harry and Meghan are learning that the hard way, and their story serves as a cautionary tale for all of us. In the end, Harry and Meghan's actions have consequences, not just for themselves but for the entire royal family. They've gone from celebrated figures to isolated pariahs, all because they prioritized fame and fortune over family and duty. As conservatives, we know that integrity, loyalty, and family are non-negotiable. When you abandon those principles, you may gain attention, but you lose everything that truly matters. Let's hope this serves as a wake-up call, not just for Harry and Meghan, but for anyone who thinks betrayal has no price. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.